Hello, hello. How y'all feeling? Cool, cool. Don't let my voice calm you too much. Y'all can still make noise and stuff. I wasn't gonna talk about the show in August, not yet, but I will say I'm trying to bring a whole new experience to spoken word poetry. So that aspect mixed with kind of telling a story that I experienced during my time in Paris last July for the James Baldwin Writers Conference, that'll be kind of what that show is about. So be on the lookout for that. You can definitely follow me at Leroy Bean on anything to keep up. So poetry. If that's cool, say cool. All right. This is a black poem, but it's like black on accident. Like I was just existing one day, right? And go figure. And I was like watching Loki, the season 2 in the Loki. If you haven't seen it by now, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. And somehow I made some connections. So I love sci-fi. Play with the ideas in my mind about. It's like I love sci-fi. Play with the ideas about time and the multiverse, play games with my mind, with stories that take me out of this world, get me low-key imagining what it might be like to visit my variant. Might travel back in time and see the story through Lovecraft Country, one of my favorite sci-fi stories. And speaking of low-key, seeing Jonathan Majors from Lovecraft act his ass off and craft a love story for Black Boy to see themselves, but see an alternative before the allegations. Then, turns out Jonathan was crossing over to another show themed around the multiverse. I haven't been this excited about a crossover since Jimmy Timmy Power Hour. And I know, right? And I know that low-key and Lovecraft have nothing to do with each other, but the sci-fi loving, high-key fanfic wannabe part of me is branching into an infinite amount of ideas for poetry. For example, here are some of my favorite short samples of low-key multiversal metaphorical poems. Number 1, a black man sits at the end of time, says he's a martyr of another story, trying to save the world from himself. Or number 2, a black man sits self-righteously at the end of time, claims his burden alone, and isolates himself from the black woman that walked with him through the time it took to get to the end of time. And last but not least, my favorite, a black man sits in as much peace as he can possibly create for himself, sacrificing his life to the end of time just to keep the system flowing, and some white people gods come outside of their system and universe and mouths to swear that they offer a better way of living, wanting their way to be the way for everyone, trying to colonize the timelines, literally spent centuries of rewinds and rewrites for white to be the hero of the story, to sit in his green envy throne, holding all of existence in his white hands with that one white smile, just to make sure it wasn't a black man who had his hands on something so important. In peace.